All right, now that we've defined rotational position, velocity, and acceleration, we can use our same kinematic equations that we have before for linear motion, but this time rewrite them in terms of those rotational variables. And so as a reminder, when we solved problems involving linear motion, these were our 4 kinematic equations. And as a reminder, each of these equations used some combination of our essentially 3 different linear variables. Delta x are displacement, both initial and final velocity, acceleration, a, and time. This first kinematic equation, as a reminder, did not have delta x in it, so useful when solving problems not given the displacement, but given enough information about the initial and final velocity, acceleration, and or time. This second equation, if you remember, did not have time in it. This third equation was missing final velocity, and the fourth equation was actually not given an acceleration. And again, only for constant acceleration were these equations applicable. Right? So in this very similar fashion, I'm going to rewrite all of these equations, but instead of v, I'm going to replace v with omega, right, angular velocity. I'm going to replace a with alpha, angular acceleration, and I'm going to replace delta x with delta theta, my angular displacement. They'll look like this. All right, and you'll notice they take the exact same form. They're just using those rotational motion variables that we've defined previously in this video. So each of these equations, as you recall from kinematics, contains some combination of 3 of the 4 essentially variables that we have: velocity, acceleration, position, and time. It's important when solving problems to identify what you're given and what you're not given, and use the appropriate equation or equations to relate what you do know to what you're trying to solve for. And so we're going to solve a series of example problems to sort of go over this concept one more time. But as they are, the equations are no different from the ones we defined earlier for linear motion. They're just using those rotational variables that we've defined.